All right, let's get right into it. If you're new to motorcycles, you're probably drowning in advice about gear. Leather, textile, what on earth is CE rated? Forget all that noise. Today, we are cutting straight to the chase, focusing on the absolute essentials, the stuff that will quite literally save your skin.
Look, before we even talk about brands or money, let's get real for a second. This quote, it's from a story about a guy with 15 years of riding experience. He skipped his proper riding trousers just this once. The thing is, Tarmac doesn't care if you're just popping down to the shops. That's the problem we're solving today.
So, to make sure that doesn't happen to you, we're going to break this down into 5 simple parts. We'll start with why this all matters. Then we'll cover the gear you absolutely must have, why fit is more important than price, how to spend your money wisely, and finally, the classic mistakes that everyone makes. This is your roadmap to getting kitted out properly.
Right, so the real issue here isn't about picking a cool jacket. The problem is that the road surface is like a giant belt sander. It's brutally unforgiving. Your everyday clothes, your favorite pair of jeans, they'll be shredded in less than a second if you come off the bike. The gear we're about to talk about is the only thing that stands between you and a very, very bad day.
So, what's the solution? Well, it's actually really simple. It's a 5-point checklist. And let me be clear, this is non-negotiable. This is not a nice-to-have list. This is the bare minimum you need before you even think about swinging your leg over that bike. No excuses, no compromises.
And here it is. This is your new mantra. Helmet, jacket, trousers, gloves, boots. All 5 every single time you ride. The source material puts this perfectly. If you can't afford all 5 pieces of this kit right now, then you can't afford to ride. It is that simple, and honestly, it's that important. So when we say purpose-built, what does that even mean? Well, it boils down to 2 things. First, it has to be abrasion-resistant, made from materials designed to slide on tarmac without tearing to bits. And second, it has to have certified impact protection. That's the armor you find in the shoulders, elbows, and knees. Your high street fashion jacket might look the part, but on the road, it's basically paper. So let's quickly run through the specs. Your helmet has to be full face, and look for that ECE certification sticker. Your jacket and trousers need that CE-rated armor in all the key impact zones: shoulders, elbows, and knees. For gloves, you want knuckle protection and a palm slider, because it's just human instinct to put your hands out when you fall. And your boots, they absolutely must be proper motorcycle boots that cover and support your ankle. Now listen up, because this is probably the most important part of this whole explainer. You could go out and buy the most expensive gear on the planet, but if it doesn't fit right, it's pretty much useless. Fit is not about comfort. Fit is a safety feature. An elbow pad that's halfway down your forearm isn't going to do you any good in a crash. And this brings us to the #1 question every new rider asks. How is a brand new helmet supposed to feel? Because I'll tell you right now, your natural instinct is probably wrong. Way too many people buy helmets that are 1 or even 2 sizes too big. Okay, getting the fit right is easy if you just follow this simple test. First, it has to be snug all around. We're talking chipmunk cheeks snug. No sharp pain, but you should definitely feel the pressure. Second, do up the strap and try to twist the helmet on your head. It shouldn't really move. If it rotates easily, it's too big. And third, just shake your head around. The helmet should feel like a part of you. And remember, different brands fit different head shapes, so you really have to go to a shop and try them on. And that same idea of a snug, secure fit goes for everything else. In a jacket, the armor has to stay put over your joints. For trousers, here's the pro tip. Sit down, like you're on the bike. The knee armor needs to cover your kneecap, not be halfway down your shin. Gloves should feel like a second skin, and your boots should grip your heels so it doesn't lift when you walk. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the cost. Look, gear's a big investment, there's no getting around it. But you don't have to remortgage your house to be safe. The secret is knowing where to spend your money to get the most bang for your buck, and where it's okay to be a little more budget conscious, at least to start. Think of this as your cheat sheet. You splurge on your helmet and your boots. Why? Because you only get one brain. And a better helmet is also quieter and more comfortable, which means you get less tired. And good boots protect all those tiny, fragile bones in your feet and ankles. You can save a bit at first on your jacket, trousers, and gloves. A good quality entry-level textile jacket with the right armor does the job perfectly well. You can always upgrade later.
So, what's a realistic number to have in mind? For a full set of decent, safe, brand new gear, you should be budgeting somewhere in this ballpark. Yeah, you might find a full kit for a bit less, but aiming for this range is going to get you quality stuff that's comfortable and will last you for years to come.
Okay, I need everyone to listen very, very carefully to this next bit. This is the one unbreakable rule. While you can get some great deals on a used jacket, you must never, ever buy a used helmet. Full stop. You have no idea what its history is. Was it dropped? Was it in a crash? A single knock can compromise the inside of that helmet, the part that's designed to save your life. There are 0 exceptions to this rule. All right, you know what to buy and how it should fit. That's half the battle. The other half is knowing what not to do. So let's quickly run through the classic mistakes that nearly every new rider makes, just so you can sidestep them completely. Here are the big 4. First, buying online without trying it on. You're just guessing on fit, and guessing is not a safety strategy. Second, picking fashion over function. You've basically bought a costume, not safety gear. Third, the just a quick trip excuse for not wearing all your kit. That's how most of the horror stories start. And finally, buying the wrong tool for the job, like getting full-on race leathers when you're just commuting for 10 minutes. Be honest about the riding you actually do. Let this one really sink in for a minute. Wearing all your gear isn't about being paranoid or scared. It's about being smart. It's about respecting the risk and taking responsibility. Anyone who gives you a hard time about it, well, they just don't get it. You are the one being intelligent. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. When you look at the price tag on that helmet or that jacket, try not to see it as a purchase. See it for what it really is, an investment. It's an investment in your safety, in your confidence, and in your ability to enjoy every single ride for years to come. Ride smart.